All right, guys, welcome to the channel. Strife the Warrior here, of course. I am very, very excited to have my very first interview on the channel here. You guys know him from Cobra Kai. You may also know him from Cousins for Life. I have him here in the backstage, so please welcome Dallas Dupree Young. And of course, also with him, I have Centric Gaming. Guys, how's it going tonight?
Really can't complain. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. Are you guys excited for season 6, part 3, the premiere?
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's
Can't
gonna
wait.
be it's gonna be fire.
It's gonna be real dope. Premieres tomorrow, and then it's coming out in 2 days.
For sure. So here's a question I kind of had you guys, just because I want to talk about both, you, Dallas, and of course, Centric GG. How did you guys meet?
Yeah, so we basically met through our homeboy Christian Isaiah, who's already signed to Centric Gaming, and basically he had let me know about Kyree and everything, and then Kyree and I were able to have the chance to play on Fortnite, have a conversation, and we were able to move forward within the business. And after that, it was just the rest was history. I became a part of Centric, and we started playing the game and started to do different things, and now we're here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you competed in any esports yet, Dallas?
Yeah, I did the one time. Fortnite tournament.
Fortnite tournament community. Yeah, he did compete for one tournament. Yep.
Fortunately, did not win it all though.
No, hey, look, if it makes you feel any better, I thought I was semi decent at Fortnite, so I went to DreamHack Dallas in 2023, and I was like, yeah, like me and my friends were like, yeah, we got a chance. And dude, I got slaughtered, man. Especially when like 250 million, or excuse me, 250,000's on the line, dude. You go up against some pros, and I've been gaming since I was like 3, so I thought like I had like a decent. No, it's a whole another level for sure.
Yeah, it's a whole different world.
Are there any favorite esports games that you're kind of currently following, or games that you either you guys might be training for at this time?
Oh, well, I mean, we play 2K. We play NBA 2K a lot. We was just this season actually. We was ranked 25 in the world. Me, Dallas,
Nice.
and Christian. So that's a game we really, I guess you could say, kind of train for, trying to build up to be like good at. It takes a lot of time. We play like at least 5-6 hours a day. It's a lot of work. Obviously we all got busy schedules and stuff, so we keep trying to be consistent on that. So I think NBA 2K is definitely the one game I think we all, me and Dallas especially, are really, really talented at.
Right, I got you. Okay. So how did Centric Gaming start? Like, when did it start? Like, how long has it been around? You're probably one of the first people that's ever been in esports that I've kind of talked to about this. So I'm definitely curious to know more about it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Back in like 2016, when I was younger in high school, I started it with a group of friends. We called it Centric Gaming. It was something that, like, we didn't really take that much like serious as it is now. It was more so just like something like a group of friends. We get together, we play on Call of Duty, Black Ops, all these different games. And then around 2020, one of my friends, his name is Dion Waiters, played in the NBA. He wanted to launch it as a brand. So we got into like Fortnite, and then in 2022 we got Christian Isaiah, and then 2023 we got Dallas Dupree Young. So I kind of just try to build a group of just friends and stuff, and like that just loves the game, even if they celebrities or not. We got numerous people that always reach out to us that want a game with me and Dallas every day. So I think it's just really dope for me to just connect with different people, even people that's from, guys that play, that's fans of the show, of Cobra Kai. They love gaming too. So I think it's really dope for me to just interact with so many different people. And that's the reason why we try to put together so many different events as far as the collab stream, so we could do the Q&As and have people interact, with Dallas, and talk a little bit about Centric. And, obviously our merch drop today. That's coming in the next, I guess, hour or so after this interview.
Yeah, for sure, man. I was already on it, man. I was like, as soon as that hoodie dropped, I was like, give me one of them. So correct me if I'm wrong. Did either of you play Smash Brothers at one point? I thought I might have heard it mentioned in a stream, but I could be wrong. So
yeah, Super Smash Bros. I mean,
sir.
I've been playing that game since I was about 5, I would say.
Who are your mains right now, or if you've or like the last characters you've kind of played with?
Ooh. It's been I'm trying to think. It's been like a year and a half since I played, but
yeah, that's fair.
I remember I played all the time with Sonic and Ike. They were like my two favorite competitors on the game.
Yeah, Ike was my main in Brawl. So in Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate, I actually mained with Little Mac. A lot of people call me crazy for mainly with Little Mac, but that was actually one of the first games that I actually had where I kind of competed. Obviously not in esports or anything like that, but I did some locals and things like that. So if you guys ever do like a Smash Brothers stream, I'm definitely down to see if I can get my butt whipped by one of y'all. So
hey, we're gonna have to now.
Yeah, for sure. Favorite Fortnite skin for either y'all, just in all across different seasons, whether it be celebrity or anything like that. So.
But it might be the season 2 skin. It was like a night skin. I used to wear it all the time. Yeah. I forgot the name. It might be Black. Is it Black name? It was a night skin. It was a blue one. I remember exactly how it looked, the color and everything. I just know it was a night skin in season 2.
Yeah, for sure.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm trying to think. If anything, it'd probably just be like the Spider-Man one. That's the one that I use a lot. Yeah.
So I know you guys mentioned you play a lot of NBA 2K. Is there any new games or current games you guys are playing in rotation, whether it's for esports or just, games that you're kind of casually looking into or, just playing right now?
Probably NCAA. NCAA probably the only game we kind of throw that in rotation randomly some days. Yeah. And we used to do Madden, but we haven't played Madden in forever. So
yeah. But I feel like whenever the game does come out, we're gonna definitely run GTA 6 and start shooting that a lot more. For sure. Yeah. But we obviously got a lot of time until then.
Right. Have y'all touched Marvel Rivals yet?
No, I haven't. I heard so much about it. A lot of friends play it. I never played it.
Yeah, no, it's really fun. I know it's a lot of people kind of call it like it is a hero shooter like Overwatch, but it's a lot of fun. I think what makes it unique too is that it so it's kind of over the shoulder or like third person like Fortnite. So that's what's kind of like what's really cool and stuff like that. Of course, it's free to play as well. So if you guys ever want to get back into shooters, it's definitely a game I can recommend. So speaking of games of all time, what are 5 favorite games that you could play over and over across any console?
5.
Yeah, the list.
We can do top 10 too if it's easier. I know, like I'm always like it's also kind of a hard question for me to answer too. So since I've kind of played like so much.
Oof. Fortnite, GTA 5, NBA 2K11, Madden 16, and I might WWE 2007 probably. Yeah, I threw on some hits.
Yeah,
that's probably the top 5. You talking about all time, right?
All time. Yeah. Any console, man.
Okay. Yeah. I would have to go with 2K21. I'm gonna go with MLB The Show. I think it was 20. That was the best year for sure. Watch Dogs 2. I really loved back in, but I haven't played in a minute. Brawl on the Wii.
Okay.
Ooh,
yeah. Everyday game. And then I feel like my last one, gotta go with the classic Fortnite. It's always a game you could always just hop on anytime with your friends.
So with Brawl, were you a Project M guy or you just like Brawl vanilla? I know like some people they like prefer Project M because they brought it like to Melee. I mean, I played both, so I'm okay with either or. But yeah,
I did more so Brawl vanilla.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, favorite go-to cheat meal?
Oh,
go-to cheat meal.
Subway cookies.
Okay.
A nice Chick-fil-A meal, honestly. With a large fry, a milkshake, and a sandwich.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, that was definitely one.
Yeah, for me, Wingstop.
Wingstop,
dude. Like Wingstop, like when I was I started like my first bulk like about 7 years ago. And like that was kind of like my go-to, like killing like 20-30 wings, man. Like now like hot honey rub is like one of my go-to flavors. Spicy Korean barbecue, of course Cajun mild too, and then you gotta have the extra fry seasoning and stuff like that. So yeah. So by the time this drops, part 3 will already be out. So we'll kind of touch a little bit about on that as well. So Dallas, one question I had for you is when you guys are kind of getting ready to film action scene, what kind of warm-up routine are you guys doing? So as I kind of mentioned last time we talked, I'm in Taekwondo. I know you got to do like a lot of stretching, a lot of strikes and stuff like that to kind of get like the blood flowing. Is there any like specific routine that the guys have you run through when you're filming an action scene, or is it just like different every time? How does that routine typically go?
I mean, it's honestly just the same exact routine that we do every time we're about to get on the fight scene. Basically, we all come together, the stunt coordinators, the actors in the thing, and then also some of the stunts with us, right? And we're all working together. And basically, we just go through the stretches. We run a little bit. We have to run around the entire stage just to get loose and everything. Do jumping jacks. It's kind of just a basic form of stretching and getting your body loose. And the next, we get ready to go at it. And as soon as we're fighting, they, come check on us, make sure we're good. And that's basically how it is.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it just definitely one of those things that I've kind of like had always kind of wondered about. Now that I'm actually kind of I just got back from Taekwondo before this interview and stuff like that too. So I was kind of thinking of like, I guess you guys would have to kind of like do the similar things we would do like in a dojon to kind of stretch and things like that. So to follow up on that question, so you were in seasons 4 through 6. What was the hardest action sequence to film?
Hardest action sequence to film. Oh, out of 4 through 6.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest one? I'm trying to think. What was a really difficult scene that we had to film? I feel like it would probably have to be the scene where Robby and I were going up against each other in the All Valley. Just because of the circumstances at the end of the day. So whenever I was starting out, I was only 14 years old, and I was like nervous to have to go up against Tanner Buchanan in that moment because I honestly like looked up to him growing up. So I was one of those moments that we're going up against each other. I know he's established. He's been on the show since season 1. He knows what he's doing. I have to act like I belong. And I think my biggest fear was that I'd keep messing up, or, I wouldn't be doing the moves right. And then an accident would happen. I maybe hit him. He might hit me. One of those situations. But once we got comfortable with each other and everything in the fight sequences, and we found that balance, we were ready to go. And it felt like second nature the entire time.
That's awesome. So that fight, I mean, symbolically, it's very, very interesting too, because it's just like, Kenny's kind of finally his footing. And then of course, Robby flips his switch and things like that. And like during that filming of that scene, were there any kind of close calls? Like obviously he did a very good job of like not hitting you right at the end for the final point. But were there any kind of close calls that you kind of remember where it's like, whoa, like that almost,
It's funny. There was actually no close calls. Like he's one of those people, he's not going to hit you. You can trust him from the moment we step onto the stage.
That's awesome.
I just remember this one time they just kept getting mad because whenever he would do his kick, I'd act like I'm falling back. And they were like, Dallas, you don't even need to do that. Like we can put the stunt double in. But besides that, no close calls at all.
That's awesome. So it's interesting that you kind of bring up trust as far as that goes, because like when I think about that, I kind of think about wrestling too, because I'm a huge wrestling fan. And then, obviously they're like athleticism is all real, right? It's predetermined like the movies, but like the athleticism is real. The injuries are real. So like when you're wrestling somebody else, you're kind of, putting your life in their hands, essentially for trust and things like that. So that kind of will flip here to next question that I had. Are you a wrestling fan yourself?
Yeah, a little bit. I used to watch wrestling every Monday night with my grandpa a long time ago.
Was that like Ruthless Aggression era, or is it like was it kind of like when John Cena was on top? I know John Cena was on top for a long time, so it's kind of a broad question.
I just remember it was like Undertaker, you got Rey Mysterio. Oh, yeah, it was like that time.
Exactly.
The prime. Yeah.
Jeff Hardy?
Yeah, you had that. Roman Reigns was killing it. Triple H was killing it. Like you had those type of people.
Right. So actually I'm kind of glad you brought up his name, because I was going to ask you, what was it like working with Roman Reigns on Cousins for Life?
Wow, you bringing it back right there. Yeah. So at that time, I was a huge fan of wrestling then too. And having the opportunity to work with Roman was outstanding. He's such an individual that's so intelligent. He's locked in on his craft, and the knowledge that he has about acting was so impressive to all of us. Like he really taught us more than we even knew. And I think the best thing about him was just his energy around set. He always kept a positive attitude throughout the entire time, and he was cool with working on this. The schedule of a Nickelodeon series is a little bit different than a single cam show. So he was just dealing with the punches with us, and and he had a great time. So that's all that really mattered.
That's awesome. Did you by chance watch WrestleMania 40? Not this past year, but the year before, last year in 2024?
I don't think I did.
Oh man. Like, cause you mentioned like how like good of an, like an actor and his like the chops he brings. Like if you ever get a chance to go back and watch Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. I can't recommend it enough, man. It's such amazing storytelling. Favorite Family Matters episode, because I know you talked with my friend Peter with Cobra Kai Companion. Family Matters was one of like the I believe your inspirations for getting into acting. You remember like a favorite episode or a favorite scene?
Damn, you threw it back.
I did. I'm trying to think. I don't know like the episode names or any of that. For
Sure.
me, just being able to watch different clips of Jaleel White and the way he was able to like kind of control the audience with his actions. For me personally, that's what really got me into acting. I can't really pinpoint an episode,
Sure.
but yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, just that show's just like timeless too, especially like kind of growing up in an era where, especially Reginald Vell Johnson, man, legend, definitely one of my favorite sitcom actors for sure. I asked you this question last time we interacted on your Twitch stream. My audio bounced. I didn't realize I was talking like so loud into the mic, so I kind of want to get a chance to answer for you, if you don't mind answering this question again. So as I mentioned, before, there's a lot of comparisons with Kenny and Daniel as far as the parallels that they go. The main difference is that Kenny actually started in Cobra Kai, even though he kind of was taught some Miyagi-Do too. Did you have to study like the movie at all to kind of get a feel to play Kenny? How did you approach playing Kenny when you saw the script?
Yeah, it was one of those situations where they didn't force me, to watch the movie or anything. It was one of those things that, I was just interested in the whole entire Karate Kid saga. So therefore, I wanted to do a little bit of research about the first movie and the second one. And but even though it was Daniel-esque like,
right,
they wanted me to put my own spin on the character of Kenny because they're two completely different characters at the end of the day. And for me, I just had to step into the shoes of somebody who was an innocent kid who, was not corrupted by the bullies and all this. Yeah, he was just a kid who loved video games and wanted to be included on things. And I just had to put myself in that mindset. And then afterwards, having a complete 180 as I'm starting to transition into the Cobra Kai mentality, make sure to have that intensity and continue to grow with the path of his character arc.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. This kind of question is kind of for both y'all too, because I'm just kind of curious. So growing up, I actually watched the Karate Kid films out of order. So the first one I ever watched was Karate Kid Part 2, and specifically was where Chosen got disowned. Like that's the earliest memory I have, because I was at a family friend's house at the time, and then I remember watching Karate Kid Part 3, of course, the one with Mike Barnes, and then when I was a teenager in high school, I watched Karate Kid 1. Prior to Cobra Kai, or while studying, studying the character of Kenny while you were filming Cobra Kai, what was the watch order that you did for the films? And Kyree as well, feel free to answer. Curious to see, like, did you watch the films in order as well before Cobra Kai? How were you introduced to the Karate Kid universe?
Do you want?
I'll start it off. I watched them in order.
Okay.
I was really excited about the first one. I remember, so I watched it whenever I was younger because I did karate at about 6 years old just to do some research. That was what our sensei told us to do. Obviously, I didn't remember it then, but then I ended up refreshing my memory a little bit later, and I watched all three of them. But I had to watch it in order.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, it was my mom when she used to clean in the house. She used to always play the Karate Kid movies. I don't know why. It was just something that always played. So I watched them all the time while she was cleaning and cooking. You see Mr. Miyagi and Daniel-san right up on the screen while she cooking. So I was just always tuned in. I'm like, all right. And then when they announced the Cobra Kai, I was like, oh snap, they actually bringing it all back after all these years. It was like 20, 30 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So that actually was going to be one of my other questions too, Dallas. So what style of karate? Was it Goju Ryu, or is it, do you remember what style you were studying when you were younger?
I was doing Taekwondo.
Oh, you were doing Taekwondo. Okay. So last time we talked, right? I did get the yellow belt.
There we go.
Hey.
Now I'm yellow belt black stripe. So
there we go.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Do you have any interest kind of studying, continuing your studies as well? Kyree as well. Are you thinking about looking into martial arts? Maybe not. It's okay.
Yeah. I was interested at one point. I think it was we got a group chat and I always used to pass this dojo and where I live at, and I was like, yo, I should just go in there one day and just see like how it is. Like I feel like, it'd be something to be a cool incentive like to do, like after getting off work and doing all the stuff I do. But yeah, I was always curious. I mean, obviously, having dollars and stuff, we always make the jokes and stuff about practicing and stuff based on the show and stuff. But yeah, no, I definitely was curious a little bit. Still haven't done it, but you never know. I'm only like 26, so you never know.
So I'm not going to age myself completely, but I will just say I'm older than 26, and I'm also I'm pretty much like one of the only adults in my class. So if it's something I could at least say, just do it, man. Like if you ever want to get a chance to try to do it, I don't know, man. It's just so cathartic. Like just being able to just kind of like relax and whatnot. And that's what I really appreciate about like the Taekwondo, especially if you find a good school. It's just awesome, man. It's just an awesome environment to be in, especially, if you have a good teacher and things like that. Not a crease, but like a Miyagi, like a Miyagi. Yeah. So here's a question for both of you guys. If you could have a dream match, so say we could take Kenny Payne, travel back in time, who would you have a dream match with from the original first 3 films?
Man.
You can pick more than one too, if you'd like.
Dream match. I also got to be at his skill level in this dream. Like it's not going to be Kenny Payne because I already know who would win. But Terry Silver.
Okay.
That'd be dope. Go back then. And also, I mean, yeah, I'll go with Terry Silver. Let's see. I want to see what you got.
Chosen.
Yeah.
Chosen. Oh man, yeah, those are both really good picks. So I'll kind of bounce this off to another question. I didn't really have planned, but it kind of made me. I'd like to kind of get your opinion on this, Dallas. So a while back, I did a couple of matchups with Kenny Payne versus I think it was season 1 Miguel season 1 Robby and season 2 Miguel. Now I kind of gave Kenny a little bit of the edge because what I always found interesting about Kenny is that he was being taught 2 styles at once, right? He was learning both Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do, so he definitely had an advantage. If you could, simulate that fight, like who do you think would kind of get like the upper hand? Would you think Robby might stand a chance, even though he's only kind of known Miyagi-Do, or you think Kenny wins out?
Is this Kenny season 4? Or is this Kenny season 6?
So for versus season 1 Robby, season 4 Kenny, and I'm not trying to sway you either way or anything like that, but I always thought that Kenny had an advantage because he knew 2 styles at once. Obviously, we don't know like to the depths of what like Miyagi-Do that he knows, but obviously it's the basic. It's all the blocks, the defense. Obviously he knows the drum technique because you demonstrated that against Nate. So yeah, just kind of curious because I'm sure like the fans will definitely love to hear your opinion on this one too. So, and whatever he says, guys, you can't get mad. This is his opinion. All right.
And this is Robby
versus season 1 Robby.
Okay, season 1 Robby. I feel like that would actually be a good battle. Robby starting out, I'm starting out. I think I'm gonna give the edge to Kenny. I'm gonna give the edge to Kenny.
Okay.
Kenny, even though he was a little bit shorter than, he was still a beast. He did have like the mentality of learning, different styles and everything, and using his aggression to his advantage. So I'm gonna have to go with Kenny for sure.
Kyree, what are your thoughts?
Damn. Season 1, you said so it'd be Kenny season 6, right?
Or season Kenny 5? Season 4 versus season 1 Robby. So Robby at that point only knows Miyagi-Do.
Season 4. So I was still a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was different. It's weird though, because Robby in season 4 was way more aggressive. I feel like season 1 he was more passive.
Right.
Which is weird. He wasn't he was learning Miyagi, the Miyagi way. He's a little more laid back. In season 4, he like turned into like he unlocked a whole different person. But yeah, I would have to go with Robby just based off his defense, to be honest. I feel like, and plus you wasn't even really grown into it as much. You still was learning.
I still was learning
the ropes and everything. So it's kind of hard to go with somebody that's still, learning
I get
the ropes.
that for sure.
Right. So, no, that's actually a really good point. See, for me too, like obviously Kenny always is probably one of the fastest fighters, both like in hand speed and movement speed too. So that was kind of where I was thinking too. But no, this is really cool to kind of hear your guys' perspective on this, because I don't know if you ever seen any like the versus battles on my channel, but man, like when I say, hey, look, you guys wanted me to pick somebody, look, I'm picking somebody. Like they tore me up because I said Miguel could beat Mike Barnes, Dude, you should have seen the reaction.
Oh,
Because now
They
I'm
got him.
gonna explain the reasoning why too, because like I've also kind of explained, and whenever I talk to Sean Kanan, I'll explain why. So, and the reason why I said that was because Mike had an edge because Daniel feared him. But once Daniel didn't fear him, he got the point. Yeah, it was sudden death overtime, and a lot of people say, "Oh, well, kata doesn't work in the tournament." But I always thought that once you get past that barrier, I mean, what's to stop you? Like, you could also say the same thing about Kenny versus Hawk in season 5. Kenny wasn't scared of anybody at that point. He just kind of went for it. So that's kind of why I said, well, Miguel might be able to beat Mike Barnes, because if Miguel doesn't fear anybody, he's going to try to do his best against Mike Barnes. And not to mention, he's not like just offense based. He's based on defense and stuff too. It's always kind of fun debates like that to have like that. But dude, they ripped me apart when I said Miguel. When I'm like, hey man, like, you asked me my opinion. I'm telling you. So
Thanks, I respect that.
nah.
yeah.
Gotta keep
So
it real.
what is on Kenny Payne's playlist? Top 5 songs on his playlist while he's training.
Cool.
Jeez. Kenny Payne. Let's see. I'm feeling Dreams and Nightmares for sure. Meek Mill. I'm feeling Hot by Thug and Gunna.
That's a good one.
I'm feeling. You can help me out with this one too, because I'm like, I know I was a character at Kenny, but I'm trying to figure this out. 3 more.
3 more songs.
Like workout songs, locked in the dojo.
You ain't got no Kendrick? Well, Kendrick don't got songs that's like
not
the fighting verse.
Not like a fighting. Why am I blanking so much?
Lil Baby freestyle?
For sure. Give me Free Promo by Lil Baby.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Honestly, give me Stuff by Baby too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Something by Travis. Gotta have Travis in there. But I'm trying to think what song from Travis would be the one. Oh. Nope.
Lil Durk?
Yeah.
Lil Durk got a lot of songs.
Probably. I'm trying to think on Kenny's playlist though, because I was about to say, give me one more. Travis Scott song. Come on, give me a Travis song. That's all.
I don't really listen to Travis. I'm be honest.
Really? Probably Topia Twins. Maybe Topia Twins.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I listen to Travis here and there, but not like a lot. So I was just gonna say Sicko Mode, but like I wasn't sure if that would fit.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Okay. So how do you feel about people fan casting as Miles Morales?
Ooh.
Oh, that feels incredible. That's an incredible honor. I mean, I appreciate all of the fan cast and everything. I've been seeing everything about it. It'd be a dream role of mine to have the opportunity to work as Miles Morales. Obviously, like, I love doing action-packed projects. So therefore, having the opportunity to work as Spider-Man, somebody that I've grown up watching since I was a little kid, would be an honor for sure.
Who would be, so if you were to play Miles Morales, who would be playing Peter Parker, and what villain would you like to face off against? And if you could cast that villain, who would you cast in that role to?
Who would play Peter Parker? It's funny because like the energy that the Peter Parker from the Miles Morales versions, he gives me like I could see Ryan Reynolds doing something like that. I don't know why.
Okay.
Being Peter Parker. A villain? I don't know. I feel like being able to fight the Goblin, but what's the Goblin's name? The Green Goblin. There's no way he's not just called the Green Goblin, right?
And there's the William
Dafoe?
Yeah, Dafoe. I would cast him and he might as well be in this if he's another one.
Yeah.
So if I could fight anybody as a villain, it would be him for sure. Okay.
And so when you were talking about Ryan Reynolds, we're talking about Into the Spider-Verse, that version of Peter Parker. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So here's a question too I had. Obviously, I love your scene in Blood In, Blood Out, where the team finally trusts you, and then Robby kind of proves like, hey, this is why Kenny's my guy. So you, like, when you're in the fight scene, you do like kind of like this like shuffle with your fists. Was that something you kind of came up with, or is that like something that you were instructed to kind of do like in the script or anything like that? And I have a follow-up question for that, but I was just kind of curious.
Yeah, that was actually something I came up with on the spot. The biggest thing that one of our instructors, Tony, had been kind of preaching from the beginning was just making it look natural and acting like you're actually in a fight. So we would do little exercises, doing little movements with our body, trying to fake out somebody, move your hands, just act like you're in a fight. And in that moment, that's just what I came up with, and they ended up showing it on camera, so it worked out perfectly.
So then the question I was going to ask to follow with that, was that based on like any boxing or anything like that? Because it really reminded me of Adonis Creed. I'm definitely a huge Creed fan as well too. So I kind of saw a little bit of Michael B. Jordan because he always holds his hand up like that. So
it was definitely a boxing move right there. Okay. I've watched all of the Creeds, and I've seen Michael B. Jordan do that a million times. Sure. So I was like, okay, might as well use it in that moment, trying to size up your opponent. So
right.
It ended up working.
So how do both of you guys feel about Creed 3? So it's another movie I've kind of covered on the channel. I thought it was great because, obviously they did the rehash of like Creed versus Drago again. They could have done Creed versus Clubber Lang's son, but that would have been a rehash. I thought it was a great way to tie back to the first film because you realize why Adonis is so angry all the time because, he still has some demons from his past that he's facing. Did either of you guys watch Creed 3? And I'd be curious to kind of hear your thoughts about it as well while we're on the topic.
Well, me personally, I have never watched Creed, none of the films.
Really?
In an interview. No, I'm just kidding.
That's funny. I actually never watched. I do need to watch it though. I heard it's really great. So
yeah, I mean, I personally love Creed 3. I thought it was one of the better ones out of the three, personally. Mm-hmm. I think just the entire way they had his backstory and kind of completed his entire journey as far as all of the movies, and then the rivalry that he had in it was incredible as well. Right. And it's just that the relationship that they had, the dynamic that they had was impressive as well. But I loved it. I thought it was great.
For sure. And Kyree, definitely watch the Creed movies you can. And the reason I say it too is because in a way, Creed was kind of the first to do like a really successful continuation of the story before Cobra Kai did. Obviously, I love Cobra Kai, respect Cobra Kai, but because Creed came out, I think, in 2015, and then Cobra Kai originally came out in 2018. So I feel like because of Creed, Cobra Kai was also able to kind of succeed in that similar manner. And obviously, there's like a lot of different parallels, but it's really, really, I can't recommend it enough, especially if you get a chance to watch it. So, Dallas, what was the hardest emotional scene to film? From season 4 through 6, you definitely had like a lot of good moments, of course, but
hardest emotional scene to film. All right, I think the toughest one, just because of how real it was in the moment, had to have been the fight. Not the fight. Nope, I don't know what I'm talking about. The moment where we're all in the locker room prior to the Cobra Kai fight, man. And we're having that like heartfelt moment, realizing that this is the last time we're fighting with each other. But the thing about it was, even in rehearsal, we're really thinking about it like this is the last time we're going to be all together in a scene like this, having this, final conversation. People were getting emotional during even just reading the lines and talking about that. So it was one of those moments. It just felt more than just actors doing stuff on the TV screen. It was us realizing that all of the hard work that we had put in was about to come into fruition very soon, but we were going to be ending very soon as well.
That's definitely one of my favorite scenes of season 6. And man, dude, it I'm not gonna lie, it made me tear up and whatnot too. I think for me, one of my favorite moments in that scene is obviously like you and Miguel had already kind of always been on the wrong foot. You guys kind of like buried the hatchet when he welcomed you into Miyagi-Do along with Robby. But I think for me, one of the best parts of that scene was when he says, "Hey, we're all family here, all of us," and then he looks to you. I thought that was like a really, really special moment. How was it also filming the scene when in Peacetime in the Valley with you and that's how I'm pronouncing his name correctly, right?
Yeah.
How was that scene? I always thought that like that scene personally was some of your best work too, especially because it's like, we've kind of seen kind of Kenny change from season 4 to season 6, and like he says, hey, now it's time to decide what type of man you want to become. How was filming that scene too, out of curiosity?
It was outstanding filming that scene. I mean, getting the chance to work with Okea is a blessing in itself. Like, he's such a talented artist, and he is somebody who's very intense, and he keeps that eye contact with you to make you really feel like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. I feel like I'm, struggling right here in this moment. But I think that was the first time that Kenny actually put his walls down. Obviously, in season 5, he just wanted to be the villain the entire time. He wanted to show everybody that he was the fiercest competitor. And in this moment, it kind of showed the nuances of the character, because it realized that, he is just a kid at the end of the day, and he can let his walls down to his brother, because his brother has his best interests at heart at the end of the day. And his brother also knows his real side. So being able to kind of, portray those emotions a little bit was really beneficial for me. And I felt like he really made the scene a lot better, because he kept that intensity that entire time. And it just felt like a real moment.
Right. One question I forgot to ask earlier too, who could you have a dream fight with in this current generation? Kyree as well, like if you could pair Kenny against anybody. And what I mean, like my new generation, basically just kind of Cobra Kai, but like obviously season 6 included too. So,
Ooh.
I would have to say probably Kenny versus Miguel. We haven't really seen an official fight between them two, besides our little moment in season 5 where he like kicked me to the ground. But besides that, probably Kenny versus Miguel.
I know it's going to be quite sad, but I would have preferred to see Kenny versus Quan.
Yeah.
So I think it would have been dope to see something like that.
Yeah. Shout out to Brandon for sure. That would have been a really great fight too, because you have 2 different types of speed there. You have like the movement and hand speed of Kenny versus like the flying agility and like the kick speed of Quan. So that would definitely be a great episode to film as well. This was another question I asked, so please forgive me if I'm asking the same question again as we kind of interacted with Twitch stream. Did you notice like the similarities with Kenny's arc with kind of both Hawk and Miguel? And the reason I ask is, so when you're in that, after you beat up Anthony in the locker room, you tell Robby, hey, it's Cobra Kai, no mercy. There's obviously that same moment with Miguel at the end of season 1 where he's like, hey, there's nothing dirty about winning, Sensei. Like, this is what you taught me, no mercy. Did you kind of notice like some of those similarities? And was that like you kind of tapping into that? Or how did you approach playing that, filming that scene as well?
I definitely saw the similarities from the moment that I realized what Kenny's arc was going to be. At the end of the day, Cobra Kai corrupts you in the head. So you might be an innocent kid to start off, a kid that really is not a fighter, and the next thing you know, you kind of get initiated into that energy the entire time with Cobra Kai, and then you just have that mentality already locked in. And basically, that's exactly what happened with Miguel, and that's what happened with Hawk. They were kids that got bullied, and then they turned into the bully. Well, Hawk more so than Miguel, but and then Kenny did the exact same thing. So kind of approaching that kind of character arc, I just wanted to do my own thing, even though we did see the similarities in it.
Right.
Try to create nuances and differences between them to just so it doesn't seem like a repeat.
How was it working on the Cobra Kai movie with Baylen Levine?
Oh, working with Baylen, that was awesome. That was a really fun time. I'll tell you one thing though, I was so nervous because doing a public prank is something that I've never done before. So having to do that right there in that moment, I was just like, bro, I don't know how you do it, but I said, you know what? I want to make, my part of it as good as possible with him, because I know he put so much work into it. So I said, let's do it. We're going to go into the mall and we're going to have fun and just play with it and see how it goes. So that's what we did.
Yeah, I was going to ask, were you guys really getting ready to get thrown out by security at that part?
No, we weren't even going to get thrown out. Oh, no. You know what? You just reminded me. Yeah, they did call security at the end of it. That's why we didn't get up out of there. Because originally they were trying to make sure I was okay. Shout out to that guy too, because he was genuinely concerned. I felt really bad because at the end of the day, I was like, no, I'm okay. He just punched me in the stomach. The silver bullet hurt. But yeah, once they realized that it was a joke and it was a public prank, next thing you know, all you hear on the walkie is, yeah, hey, get security over here. So we got up out of there real quick.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I just always kind of wondered because I saw how that got. I was like, oh, that might have been for real. Last question. So you were also in Urkel Saves Christmas, I believe.
Yeah, I was.
How would you describe the difference between voice acting and then acting in front of the camera? Because I know it's kind of like 2 different styles of filming and recording, I guess you could say. But
that is a good question. I mean, acting in front of the the interesting thing about it is, even though you're doing voiceover and you know there's no screen on you in the moment, you kind of have the same exact energy as if you're filming in front of the camera. You're always like moving your arms, you having those emotions just to make sure that, you know, it feels as natural as possible. But I feel like the biggest difference is just you don't have to really. That's a good question. Now thinking about it, you don't have to worry too much about your facial expressions. You can just kind of let loose whenever you're doing voiceover camera. You just got to make sure your voice sounds good and it matches exactly what they're looking for. Gotcha.
Okay. Well, hey, I really appreciate you guys taking your time out of the day to you know, have this interview with me. Really glad you know, we got to have this conversation, things like that. You guys are both also welcome back on the channel at any time. Definitely would love to follow up with you guys and see how you're doing. So also congratulations. I believe you're, I think, 60K on YouTube now.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been watching. So yeah, that's you know, of course, making Twitch partner as well. So anything you want to plug in as we get to the end of the recording here?
Make sure to follow my Instagram at Dallas Dupree Young, my TikTok Dallas Dupree Young 1, YouTube Dallas Dupree Young 21, and then my Twitch. It is Dallas Dupree Young, right? On Twitch? Yeah, Dallas Dupree Young on Twitch. That's it.
Centric Kyree on all platforms. So YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever it is, that's where you're gonna find me at.
Yes, and of course, really, again, also big thanks to Kyree as well for making this happen. I love being a part of you guys' community. So for those of you guys that are watching, thanks for tuning in. Stay beautiful, stay awesome. Catch you around next time.